What's going on, everybody? Good morning. So I woke up, it's Friday morning, to a phone call and an email from the school saying that school was canceled because a gentleman 2 towns over, 3 towns over, uh, apparently armed and dangerous, and the entire county shut down the school system for today. Apparently the guy was caught or arrested, whatever, no issues. But they shut down the entire county school system. And it makes me think about the gentleman that they said that they caught that was going to have some kind of plot on election day. And the thing about criminals, the thing about people that want to do bad things is part of their stick, part of their agenda is to make you live in fear. Whether it is a bad actor, whether it is our own government, they want you to live in fear. That's part of the terror of everything. Whatever their agenda is. It's like somebody that screams and before a fight, and all they do is sit there and yell and yell and yell. But when you finally stand up, they'll walk away. When they finally get punched in the face, they walk away. And the same thing with these minority groups of people that are bitching about whatever their ideas are in life. It's not a lot of people, but because they're so loud, they seem, I don't know, like a big opponent. And my thought on that is, you cannot live in fear. Whether it is something that's going to happen on election day or something. I mean, we went to school when the DC sniper was going on. We went to school. They just didn't let us go outside. Maybe because it was a different time, whatever, I don't know. But like, things happen in life. And instead of living in fear of what could happen, you need to defend yourself. We need to start pushing for more safety in schools. I'm talking about armed security guards. I'm talking about reforming the psychiatric help that kids get, so they don't get in those places of mental, however they get when things like that happen. I'm talking about carrying a firearm wherever you go and paying attention to where you're at, your situational awareness. I'm talking about making sure when you see somebody doing something bad, you won't get in trouble for standing up and defending yourself or defending a crowd of people. There needs to be a lot of reform in this country on laws, on protecting people and protecting yourself. It starts with our children, obviously, but it starts with you. It starts with you doing whatever you need to do to defend yourself appropriately for whatever situation you're in. Our kids, school shouldn't be closed because somebody is doing something. You know what I mean? If we had people that were protecting our schools in the first place, we wouldn't have to worry. If we were allowed to carry wherever we go, we wouldn't have to worry. People that do shootings go to places that are gun-free for a reason. People that want to terrorize people go to places they know they can terrorize people. Somebody that's going to do a shooting doesn't go to a heavily armed area. I've seen videos before of people breaking into gun stores, and what happens to them within a half a second. They get gunned down, gone, end of story. It doesn't happen often because criminals are, even though they're dumb, they have enough brains to know, most of them do anyway, not to go into a gun store, because what happens there? There's people with guns. I probably shouldn't break in there. But they go into these defenseless homes. They go into these places they know that the people aren't going to be able to protect themselves. We shouldn't shut down society and live in fear. We're supposed to have liberty. We're supposed to have freedom. Freedom doesn't mean being, disarmed and trusting the government to protect you. What is that saying? When seconds matter, cops are, minutes away? It is up to you. It's up to you to train your kids, to train your family. You are your first responder in what's going on. You see that what's going on with the hurricane. You see that every time there's a shooting. You need to learn first aid. You need to learn to carry, how to use it. Learn gun safety. Learn how to use your tools that you carry with you. There's no point of carrying a map and a compass around if you don't know how to read it and read it properly. There's no point. The same thing with a firearm. Same thing with a car. Look at that guy that was 20 years old, that influencer dude. Had that $500,000 car or whatever. He doesn't know how to drive it. Look what happened. He crashed it and almost killed his friend. We take these things that we have, these items that we have, for granted. You carry your firearm, but you never use it. You take it for granted. Oh, you just point and click. That's the same mentality that people had in Jazz Chop, where they were like, oh, I put seed in dirt, it grow. Where they put, cardboard, I think. They put cardboard down and put like this much dirt on it. And like 3 days later, they're like, we don't understand why it's not growing. Don't be those people. You need to get some common sense very soon. We all do. We need to show other people how to get common sense. We can't live in fear and terror anymore. We cannot live paranoid all the time. It makes for a very uncomfortable life. It makes for a very uncomfortable society where everybody's on edge and everybody's fighting each other. We need to, what is it? The armed society is a polite society. You know somebody's not going to mess with you if you have a gun. And that's not arrogance, and that's not being cocky. It's simple fact. Somebody's not going to try to argue with you and be an asshole to you if you have a firearm. And the same thing goes with you. You're not going to be an asshole with them if you know that they carry a firearm. It shouldn't even come to that. It shouldn't even have to be like that. But in today's society, it is. People are so polarized anymore. People are so disconnected on how to have an actual argument with still being friends. You can't have a discussion with somebody and debate somebody and give them your points of views without them wanting to kill you. I just read a story. It happened like a year or two ago. I never read this. I saw it a couple days ago. There was a student that killed his Spanish teacher because he got a bad grade. It starts with you as a parent. It starts with you as an uncle or an aunt or whatever. It starts with you to try to show our children how to be decent people, how to have discussions with people in real life. And I promise you, all of our problems right now would go away if men and women stood up and started to talk to our children, started to teach them how to be children again, started teaching them how to grow food, how to do things. Get rid of all the plastic in your life. Get rid of, the video games and everything. Go outside and, let your kids fall off a bike and get hurt. And let them learn how to be okay with losing a game. You need to try harder. You don't get a participation trophy. You don't get an award for trying. You get an award for winning. That needs to come back. Anyway, the whole point of this was just to let y'all know not to live in fear, to carry everywhere you go, to be safe. Make sure you're paying attention. Y'all have a great day.